Hi everyone, I'm going to dive right into an elemental weapon tier list that is also going to be structured a little differently. I'll go through the major weapons within the elemental weapon class, and we'll look at their features, drawbacks, and also rank them step by step. Just as a heads up, this weapon outfit that I'm going to rank are all the weapons of the Mage. So the Mage has a huge bonus in that elemental upgrades are automatically scaled up an extra 25%. And you also start with the Scared Sausage and the Snake, which both increase the chances of burning through the enemy hordes. The downsides are that any melee damage or range damage upgrades are automatically canceled out, and any engineering upgrades are reduced by 50%. So, hope you'll strap in. Give me your feedback as we explore the arsenal of the Mage. Elemental weapons generally all share the burn stat. That basically means that the burning feature in these weapons ticks away the health of your enemies once it touches them. This is also called DOT, or damage over time. But it's also something that you have to bear in mind when it comes to clearing the enemies within a relatively short time frame. Basically, the burn function ticks away their health, but depending on what your cooldown rates on your weapons are, that could also mean they don't die before they reach you. But each of these weapons has different bonuses that can help with that. Some shoot projectiles that bounce, some have sheets of flame, some actually have like big bursts of damage that they provide. Others are more armor piercing. They all have bonuses that can combine in helpful ways. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so let's start with the wand. It's a low-cost baseline weapon, and it does inflict burning immediately on hitting the enemy. And so it has pretty good attack speed. It's also just a good starting point for building your outfit. And the drawback is that its direct hit bullet damage is actually, well, basically non-existent. So basically that means that mid to late game, it is far, way behind all the other weapons in your arsenals. You can upgrade it enough to get you in the game, but it can only hit one target, and then that damage over time is actually, even though it does the job, is actually quite weak. You're going to want to phase it out fairly quickly once you get into the game. So I'm going to give it a C tier. Then you have the torch, which as a melee weapon is an interesting one because it does have burn damage, which makes it an elemental weapon. But being a melee weapon as well, it basically just gives you these wide arcs of burn damage that it sweeps around you. It can eventually, of course, tick away the health of your enemies, but it's basically only there as a weapon that gets you lots of flames spread around in a short period of time. So it doesn't really pack a punch, it just gets lots of things on fire, basically. The other bonus is that it has the primitive tag as well, which means that it gives you some extra max HP earlier on in the game. So it has its place, but at the same time, I'm shoving it into C tier. Then there's the taser, which fires short-range electrical currents, and this has a very different function. It's basically your support weapon. So when you're looking for a weapon that can support the rest of your arsenal by slowing down enemies, this is what you need. It has an incredibly low damage per second, but that's not really its function. It's basically there just to slow down the hordes so you can pick them off with your other weapons. So if you play your cards right, it's an awesome support weapon, and I'm giving it a B tier. Then fourthly, you have the lightning shiv, which is also a melee weapon. But even though technically it's a dagger, it has a lightning bolt effect that actually is ideal for clearing the ranks of aliens further back as they're approaching. So once this lightning bolt shoots, it bounces from enemy to enemy, so it can bounce past the front ranks and clear away some of the more distant aliens before they can get closer. And that actually combines really well with some of the other weapons, particularly the flamethrower. is a great one to pair with the lightning shiv. So since it's useful and unique, I'm going to give it an A tier. Then, as mentioned, we have the flamethrower, and this is a gem. Basically, it shoots these sheets of fire that takes out like 90% of your enemies if they're within range, and it has a fairly wide radius. Like I said, if they're fairly close range, they're automatically burned up, you could say. So its damage over time feature is actually awesome because it shortens that time for the damage to do its job. And you'll also see this is a weapon that pairs well, as mentioned, with other ones too, specifically the lightning shiv. The only thing is that it is a bit rare. You'll rarely see this weapon before wave 11, so you really can't depend on it as a big foundational component in your arsenal, but still, it's one that you definitely need to get. So it's definitely going in S tier. Then you have the Thunder Sword, which is obviously a melee weapon, and it actually spawns multiple lightning projectiles that basically hone in on all the enemies in the map. So it's great for scaling. It does a great job in just killing multiple targets at the same time. So you could say it's actually like a lightning shiv on steroids. And these are like not just projectiles that bounce, but like these bursts of electricity that actually bounce across the map and do damage all at once. So again, this is definitely S tier league for sure. Then you have the Flaming Brass Knuckles, which really, to be honest, are your most limited melee elemental weapon. Mainly because it has a very, very narrow punching radius. Basically, you can only take one target at a time with one punch at a time, and there's a bit of a cooldown even between that. And burn damage on impact is very much like the wand, limited. It doesn't have the effectiveness or burning impact that you have with, say, the flamethrower or the thunder sword. So I'm gonna have to put this in D tier. The particle accelerator is a legendary tier weapon, so it's very high tier. It has extremely high energy beams that pierce through lines, so it has a great way of just breaking up those hordes and helping to clear them that way. But it also has quite a cooldown rate as well. High powered, but it's not quick. And it comes at a huge price tag as well. Very rare weapon. I'm putting it at B tier. So if you get the chance, grab it, but don't count on it. And then to top it all off, we have the Plank and Plasma Sledge. And these are explosive weapons. Basically, the explosive tag is something that you usually associate with the Artificer Brotato, which comes much later in the game progression. But even though you'd think they would have standard burn damage, they're more like heavy hitters. They don't have the damage over time feature that you usually have with elemental weapons. They lean more into the explosive side of things. And so burn damage is not their forte. And with that being the case, if you're talking elemental gear, I'd say these guys honestly are at the bottom of the heap. So also D tier. So you have primitive to support to precise to heavy to explosive and blade, many different ones, and even unarmed is also in there with the Flaming Brass Knuckles. So there's a lot of variety. You can combine them in different builds, of course, and try it at different things. But that's my take on the Mage outfit and which weapons work best. But let me know what you think. I'm all ears. I'm eager to explore more of these tier lists with you soon. Thanks so much, and until next time, peace.